I hate it all, if I'm honest. I absolutely hate the social media. The best part for me is making the music and getting the track signed.
You was the biggest selling artist on Toolroom, was it 2023?
I quickly followed up with Sweat, and then that went to #1 at the same time, and then knocked a few people off the top. So I was just sat there on like #2 and #1. So I was like, okay, this was a strategic play that worked out for all 3 tracks, you know what I mean? People think people with autism, they're a little bit shy and they don't make eye contact and they don't want to be around people and stuff like that. And it's kind of true, but I don't have a filter. I'm really like outspoken and I'll say shit that people shouldn't say. And it sometimes gets me in trouble, but it sometimes pays off. And people always say that you have to be current with the music, but I just don't think you do. I don't really look at what other people are doing. I just play what I want and what I think works. There's no shame in saying that you have to have a co-producer or a ghost producer or a social media manager or whatever. You can't be everywhere at once. I just don't understand if you can.
Essel, thanks for joining us today. I've tried to make it happen for a while. Thanks for coming up. You've got a great story that I want to get into from starting out. You come from Liverpool, Liverpool born and bred DJ, and you've become one of Toolroom's biggest selling artists, which is amazing. So everything in between, I want to get to today.
Okay.
But thanks so much for coming.
Yeah,
and we're right in the middle of summer here. You're busy touring, busy gigs here, there, and everywhere.
Busy running away from the busies.
Are you?
Yeah.
You'd
have to meet them.
The busies.
And the bailiffs. Just trying to get out of the country enough so that they don't catch me.
So they don't catch you.
Yeah.
I used to joke because I have many names, like DJ names, and I used to joke at it just because I'm trying to enjoy it. Lawrence James, but my real name is Richard Lawrence, but people call me Loz.
Okay.
But I used to joke that it was to run away from the taxman.
Hey. I wanted to call myself, what was it, Job Seekers Allowance.
Oh, yeah.
And have an album called Universal Credit.
Is that on the back burner?
Might be, yeah. Depends.
See how it goes.
Depends if you catch me.
But your backstory into music, I was doing some research on you, and it seems like your mum played a big part in it.
Oh, yeah.
And you was a dancer for a while as well.
Yeah, it was.
Talk me through how you fell in love with like electronic music, but I guess music early on and what inspired you to become a DJ early on.
Well, in regards to the dancing side of it, I was a stripper, so for 20 quid, a night I wasn't. Your face, you were.
I was like, I know you're not,
Yeah.
because I've done some research. And I was like, she's gonna come through here.
No, do you know what? Like, it's hard for me to be serious.
It's fine.
Yeah, so it's been a big part of the family. Like, everybody's really musical. Everyone can sing. Mum, uncle, auntie, brother.
Yeah.
And me, I can hold a note.
Love that.
So, yeah, and I was writing songs since a kid as well, so I'd like to dabble in top lining. Didn't really think about DJ. I don't even think I knew what it was when I was a kid or anything. I mean, it got as far as knowing who Annie Mac was when I was about 15 or 16, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think I just wanted to be creative and do something that not everybody was doing. So that's why I went to dancing, and I did that for 10 years. And during that time frame, I ended up doing some of the mixes for the dance competitions. So like mashing them up, and I became really, really good at it. And then they started paying me for the mashups. And it was great because I was like, oh, wow, I'm getting paid to do something I love here. And everyone's like, you should be a DJ. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I might as well look into that. And then I seen this woman DJing in Liverpool, and she was quite like Annie Mac, and she was like in her 50s or 60s. And I was like, go ahead.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'll do that when I'm in my 50s or 60s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, there was a massive change in my life by the end of those 10 years, where I went onto a cruise ship, became a singer and a dancer, left that, and, well, I got sacked. And then just became a DJ, like literally straight after. I just decided to go to Ibiza and thought, let's see what the crack's about. That was in 2015.
Straight to Ibiza.
You literally, 2015, balls from decks. And then 2016, I'd got 3 residencies in 2 weeks in Ibiza.
Wow.
It was ridiculous.
So you didn't do any like around like local like a scene in Liverpool or anything like that? You just went straight from what you say cruise ship into
It was
so research. Just took your controller to Ibiza.
Never even wanted to be on a cruise ship. It was like dancing, then being a singer and a dancer, and then being a DJ. It was absolutely bizarre.
That's sick though. So how do you I mean, I guess anyone who loves electronic music, like Ibiza's like the mecca. So how do you even go about turning up to the island and getting the gigs? Is it like blind ignorance? Are you just going and asking anyone if you can DJ for them? How do you actually get the gigs?
So what I did, and it's the horrible word that everybody, it's like the taboo word, network.
Yeah. Speak it up,
you know, I hate it though. just network. Just network. Oh, just network. It's like when you're fucking depressed and someone goes, just be happy, and you're like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, networking is through and through the most.
Do you hate it?
Yeah. I really, really dislike it. But when it was all new, it was fun. Do you know what I mean? And everybody's trying to do the same thing. Nobody's your friend, but you've got to show up to the events.
Right.
Everybody is... They're going to act like your friend, but they're also going to push you down as quick as possible. Do you know what I mean? If they can get one foot ahead of you. So you've got to keep your eyes in the back of your head. So I didn't know any of this, but what I did was I started to befriend people on Facebook. So what I would do is I'd find if they were in the industry, what they were doing, things like that, started being friends with them. I'll be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
I bought 50 followers on Facebook, right? Because I felt like followers were the way to do it.
It used to be.
It actually used to be, and some people are still doing it, like the Kardashians, but I'm not named after this. I bought 50 followers on Facebook, on the artist page specifically. Followed like-minded people in Ibiza specifically, followed a couple of pages like the Ibiza Workers page. I started commenting on things, so my name would pop up in certain places. And then when I went out there, they already would have seen me from popping up on Facebook and stuff. And then I walked into this one bar called Viva, and I was asking for a set, and they said that the residencies were done for the year. Now, Viva's where Hannah Wants first started.
Right.
So I was like, okay, like, that's shit. I'll try and do something else. But that exact night, literally as I was walking out, they ran over to me and they were like, Soph, our guy is too ketted up. Can you play?
I mean, that happens.
Exactly. So I was like, absolutely. So I jumped on. From that moment, somebody just happened to walk past who was doing the like the bookings for Es Paradis.
Yeah.
So she gave me a trial for Es Paradis, and then I became a resident there for that summer. So this is all in that one day, and then 2 weeks later, somebody came through from Sankeys into Es Paradis and gave me a trial at Sankeys for Red Light on a Monday, and I smashed that as well, and then got a residency in Sankeys for the season. So I was with, like, this is the very beginning of my career. I don't feel like that ever happened, you know what I mean? So I think what happened after, because I was with massive names. I was with Sam Divine, I was with Sonny Fodera, I was with Skepta, like every Monday, do you know what I mean? Like massive people.
They had big acts on Monday.
And I had a good name there.
Okay.
And I went home and there was absolutely nothing. So you have to like start again. From Ibiza to the UK is a completely different scene. So I had to start again. So that's where I started making music. Yeah. And I thought the only way, it was Shiba-san who messaged me and he said, look, if you want to make a career out of it, you need to make music. Because it's the only substantial thing that's going to like got longevity. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So I just started making music from there.
It's always been the battle, especially in the UK, where there's a lot of opportunity in the summer months for DJs to go abroad onto the party islands, get some gigs and stuff. But when they come back, you've got to, like you say, start again because of all the student terms start when you get back. So you're trying to get residencies and there's not as much opportunity.
Yeah.
What were you literally just playing house out there? Were you playing open format? Or were you just learning how to play to a crowd? And was that like your acid test? I
was learning to play to a crowd.
Yeah.
But I was also learning techniques because I got onto 5 decks at one point, so I would have a couple of acapellas playing at the same time. I can't do it now at all. It's like...
It's weird how it goes.
Yeah, because you don't need to do that these days, you know what I mean? Like, if you make a good track and it goes to number 1, you don't even need to DJ. You just need to stand behind the decks and press play. Do you know what I mean? So it was... I was learning how to play to a crowd, and I was playing the songs that I liked, and... You know, it's like from an era of like 2012 to 2014, like, you know, the Julio Bashmore.
Julio Bashmore.
Yeah, or whatever it's
nearly
called.
sort of deep house, but it wasn't deep
like,
house.
Green Velvet, Bigger Than Prince, and Dusky Careless. Like, absolutely love that stuff. And it was banging then.
It was.
Do you know what I mean? So I think that got me some good recognition or respect, so to speak. And at the same time, because I was having fun, they were having fun, and then I was like, okay, well, the crowd, I'm doing the crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
So that just led on to other things, and then I bagged the Eden residency after that.
Nice. When you came back from Liverpool, then did you have any lock-in to be back in Ibiza next year, and was it just a case of trying to hold out until next year, or was it like, okay, I'm going to start making music and start building a brand for myself? And how did it work?
It was more the latter. I feel like when I've done something, I get bored. So I didn't have any plans to go back to Ibiza. I thought, okay, well, that's ticked off the list. What next to get me where I want to be? And it was on that number one top spot that I wanted to be.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, that's done. What's next on the map? So it was to get a name for myself in the UK. And in order to do that, I just did the exact same thing as I did in Ibiza. It started popping up on people's page, commenting on things. But this time I had more of a bio behind me, because beforehand I didn't have any names to put to me. And I'd started making music. And funnily enough, onto that, the first track I made got signed the same day I made it. And just by a little independent label. I couldn't fucking believe it. I was like, this lad, he was like, this is really good. I've sent it to my friend who owns this label. And I was like, what do you mean? and then
you know how labels work or anything?
I had no idea. No. I was like, what you on about? Next thing, this lad's emailing me. This is really good. Can we take this? And I was like, I thought it was the most incredible thing in the entire world. I was like, that's it. I'm going to be on the top of the pops. I've made it. Top 40 UK. And it was absolutely mental, to be honest. So yeah, I just did the same thing as I did in Ibiza, but just added music production on top of it.
Yeah. Do you think that being around all of them huge DJs that you're playing with on a Monday night, you saw an inkling into like what the life is like and what could be for you if you dedicated yourself to it? Do you think that was what really like drove you into wanting to become an artist as opposed to just like DJing?
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? It's what it does. It's the feeling of it. Right. It's the feeling of the music and knowing what's about to drop, and then that feeling that you get in your chest, and they all lose the shit to it, and they all scream, and you're like, I fucking did that. Do you know what I mean? It's like having all the unlimited money to the jukebox and only you playing it throughout the night in the pub, and you're just playing kind of banger after banger. Power. It is the jukebox power, and you're just playing banger after banger, and everyone in the pub's like, fuck yeah. And fucking Sandra in the corner over there, or Sally and Betty, they're up, but got the little stick and the hips are going, but they're like, you know what, this is great shit, this. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love to be that person.
So when you started, obviously you got your first track signed, which is amazing. But you mentioned before when we were talking, you came through an initiative. There's an initiative online that helped you. What kind of time frame was this? Was this when you were trying to get tracks signed and you were trying to get your name out there a bit more?
Yeah, I mean, I'd already had a few signings under my belt back then, but Toolroom were on my hit list for a number of years because I was playing a lot of the music, and they were really good in getting back to me, and it got to the point where I made like really good connections in there, like where I would just send me music and then they would come back with feedback, and I was really good and quick in taking the feedback on board. I didn't have an ego with it. I wasn't like, nah, that's going to stay like that. Do you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, I will make that change just to try and get it on a compilation just to start with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then an invitation came through for this thing called We Are Listening. And that was to empower female DJs in the industry because there wasn't a lot back then. So I went to the Toolroom HQ, which was incredible. I wasn't even signed with them yet. And then I'm sat in the office, and what they did was put like an artist, I don't know what to call it. They put like
a feedback, or
yeah,
is it like
they put like a bubble around us.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And like not secluded us, but like kept us close.
Yeah.
Like a close knit family.
Yeah.
People that didn't even know, you know what I mean? And they made us all feel welcome. And it was like a school, like for the entire day. And there was like, I think there was like five classes, and each class was tailored to a different part of what you needed to be a brand, because it's not just about music.
Right.
It's not just about DJing. It's about selling yourself as a brand. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
And they gave us like tasks to do, and we'd go around the table and we'd introduce ourselves. Then they'd be like, okay, what would you do if you were told that you had to make a merch line? And it's like, how would this be sold? What would be your first drop, or things like that? Do you know what I mean? Artist name, where are we at with that? Music, how do you know about getting your track signed? Do you even know about the legalities if you've got a track signed, and where your publishing goes? And they just did absolutely everything. And then they started like filming it all and getting like-minded people involved, and then it just went really big. And then from that, you know, a good few people came out of it with a lot of recognition, and then Toolroom worked with them and was like, okay, you know, we feel like you've got a solid foundation now. Let's take this to the next level, if you like.
Yeah.
And it just went from there, really.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So that must open your mind, because we've had Toolroom, we had Mark Knight and Miles in here, and you know, they constantly talk about the music business. And I think a lot of people, when they start getting into it, they want to be like a producer, a DJ, and they just want to make music. But you suddenly realize that, you know, music, not it's a secondary part, it's important, but there's so many little things, big things that you have to focus on. And if you can learn them earlier on, I guess it gives you a bit of a leg up on everyone else, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people try and do it through just social media these days, but there's a lot more to it. Like, you can have a number one, but you might not have a solid foundation to keep that trajectory going. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So you might have that number one, get there, and then completely drop off and never be heard of again, because you haven't got like the social media following, or you don't post about your tracks, or you don't do any kind of relatable social media, or you don't make enough tracks, or you haven't got a brand awareness or anything like that. There's just so much, unfortunately, that has to go into it than just doing one thing these days. Do you know what I mean? It's not like back in the day where you made a track and you were famous, and that's that.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. How do you juggle everything? Like, so do you like the social media side of it? Do you like the having to put out content? And do you like it when you've got a release coming out and you can get a bit of a campaign around it? Is it or would you just prefer to be, you know, making tracks and DJing? Or
I hate it all.
Okay.
If I'm honest, I absolutely hate the social media. When a track, the best part for me is making the music and getting the track signed. Right. I love that. And anything past that, I don't like it. I don't like to see how well it's doing, because it's really depressing. And even if it gets really, really far, what goes up must come down. Right. And I've seen that loads. And then when you go up, you've got this pressure to try and stay up there. Do you know what I mean? And I just don't take well to pressure. So personally, I like to be behind closed doors, making the music, shipping it out. Yeah. But I don't get to do that because I'm either out touring and having to do the socials while I'm on tour, and it's the socials that take me mind to a bit of a scrambled place. Like, I just don't like that feeling of having to keep up with something, the pressure of today's world. And, yeah, of course. And then you have to do it, because if you're not posting about what you're doing, who's going to see it? Do you know what I mean? You haven't got a hype, then they're not going to sign it. Yeah. And that's that.
It's like a wheel; it all has to work.
Yeah, it's not about how good
is there pressure on yourself because you've had Beatport number one? You was the biggest selling artist on Toolroom. Was it 2023?
Yeah.
Like, that's absolutely amazing. Do you feel pressure from that when you've had such a successful, 3 or 4 tunes with them? Is that the pressure? And is it like, are you trying to then reach number one all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody is, though.
Of course.
When you make a track,
you want it to be.
Everybody goes, oh, this is the number one, otherwise you wouldn't put it out. Do you know what I mean? But there's definitely a pressure. And I think a lot of it comes from comparing either from, yourself to other people or yourself to yourself, where you're at and where you are now. Because you're always going to be yesterday's news unless you stay on top of your game. And that is hard to do unless you are very driven by success and fame hungry. There's just, you've got to be, I'm just not like that. I just want to make music. Do you know what I mean? So how many times
The people want to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times have I said, do you know what I mean? Imagine if we took a shot for every time I said, do you know what I mean?
I do like a lot.
Yeah. But that's a Leeds thing, isn't it?
It is a Leeds thing.
Do you know what I mean? It's like a reverse psychology way of saying, I don't care if you don't know what I fucking mean. Do you know what I mean?
I feel sorry for our American audience.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. That fuck. Let's get some Braille. On we go.
You mentioned when you were making music, he said like Toolroom was like on your hit list. When you're making tunes, you think, because I've noticed that when you mentioned a few times in interviews before, when you're making tracks, a lot of your tracks have like meaning. I think is it the track Sweat that you was on about? It's about Sankeys or something.
Yeah.
Like, so, and I guess maybe not a lot of like house or electronic artists get the credit for having a vision of a song. A lot of producers, you think in mind, well, just load up a splice sample and just roll with it.
Yeah.
But do you think about the songwriting first, and then do you think about who this is going to be for, or is it not that deep? Do you just try and just go with it?
I mean, back in the day before I had my number ones, it wasn't that deep, and I'd just go for it. A lot of them were made in mind from when I was on drugs. Like, I haven't done drugs for like 6 years, but I definitely know the feeling, and it was a good fucking crack.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It wasn't crack cocaine.
No.
But it was a good crack.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Not enticing anyone to do drugs.
No.
Drugs are for mugs, as I always say. But the feeling of that was definitely in my mind when I did a lot of these tracks, like Lennon and Sweat, and the times in Ibiza when you're just flying off your tits, and you're just like, yeah, I can feel a fucking like heavy bass line to this, and I'm like, what words are going to go with this? Oh, I know, low ceiling, black walls, strobe lights, everything was hazy. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
It's true. I think that is one of the magic of Ibiza, where a lot of great ideas happen at Sankeys at 6 a.m.
Yes, they do. 6 a.m.'s early. What are you on about?
Is that one of your favourite places in Ibiza?
It's my favourite.
Is it number one?
My favourite. Absolutely love it. I mean, I remember the first time I met Sam Supplier. It was at Sankeys, and we was with Sonny Federa, right? And I think Sam had a new song coming out with this girl. I can't remember the name. Long story short, I ended up on a beach with Sonny and Sam and this girl doing a music video at 11 a.m. straight from Sankeys on a beach. And it was just the most surrealist thing, because I just started my DJ career, and then I ended up staying at Sam's house in bed. There was 3 of us in bed, me, Sam, and this girl, and I was just lying there like this. I was just asleep, we were going to sleep. That sounds really wrong, but to get in bed with people like somebody that you look up to is a bit. Actually, you're gonna have to cut this out because there's no way to make this sound good.
I get what you mean.
There's no way.
Did you ever go to Sankeys when it was in Manchester?
No, I didn't actually.
No. He closed quite a while ago.
Yeah,
He was it, but I had the pleasure of playing there a couple of times. But I've always said that in the UK it's been my favourite place to play.
In the UK,
something about it. Yeah.
You know what? Everybody says the UK one was really good, but I don't know if they ever experienced both.
Yeah, of course.
Did you do Sankeys in?
I've been, yeah, it's amazing.
Did you play?
No, I didn't play. No, I've been. No.
So which one did you prefer though? Being in the crowd?
Yeah.
No, but which?
Oh, if you was in the crowd.
If you were in the crowd, which one did you prefer? Sankeys or?
Yeah, Ibiza.
In Ibiza, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Why? Because of the heat, or?
Just because it's Ibiza, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love Manchester, but
it's not really Ibiza, is it?
I want to touch on some of the big tracks you've had. And this is for, I guess, a lot of like up and coming producers who will listen to this and beginner DJs. When you're on a bit of a roll of having number ones and you're getting signed, how does a label support an artist, and is there anything you can take away from the successes that them big tracks have had for you that you can sort of replicate? Is there anything where you're like, oh yeah, this is why it did well? Was it timing? Was it the label? Was it just an accumulation of things that happened at the same time, or is it a bit of potluck?
It wasn't potluck.
Cool.
It was definitely strategic.
Cool.
For example, A Craze made Lean With It, Rock With It, that one.
Do It, was it? Yeah.
So I was like, I can see the traction that's getting. I had this meme page and it was doing really, really well. And before that track, Do It To It, popped off, I put it behind this video and it went viral.
Really?
Yeah. And then the track started getting loads of heat. Now, I'm not saying it was down to me, but it was pretty much, I think, down to me because it's got like 10 million views or something.
On a meme page?
On a meme page.
So this is one you run?
Yeah. It's now my artist page.
Oh, right. Okay.
But it was like overnight, it just went wild.
Oh, okay.
So it was like this guy recording what you're doing this New Year's, and he was on his phone. And it was like he pretended to be at the concert, but he was singing Lean With It, Rock With It, and then it just went absolutely spread like wildfire. So I was like, this song is a bit like funky. Like, what if I jump on that really quick? So when I seen the hype that it was getting on TikTok, I was like, okay, I'm gonna because I've been thinking about hit 'em up style.
Yes.
So I used Do It To It as a reference, did my spin on it, and then I asked James if he wanted to jump on it with me because he's got like exceptional skills when it comes to making things sound. You know James Hare?
Yeah.
When it comes to making things sound incredible. So I asked him to jump on it with me just to get it to the finishing line. And then that did really well. I think that got in the top 5 or something like that on Beatport. And then I was like, okay, so I got there in time. And then shortly after that, there was, I don't know which one came first, to be honest, but there was Lennon and I think it was Hugel that, or was it Tony Ramiro or somebody had released like a sound like the Lennon synth sound. Yeah, and I liked his track straight away. And then I was like, I'm going to jump on that, but I want the vocal to be like really euphoric. And then I found this Lennon sample and I was like, oh my God, this is a fucking sick sample. And it wasn't like anywhere, so it couldn't have been used again. So I just whacked it on and then that just went like, I think that went to number 2. And then I was like, okay, they love this. And then I quickly followed up with Sweat. And then that went to number 1 at the same time and then knocked a few people off the top. So I was just sat there on like number 2 and number 1. So I was like, okay, this was a strategic play that worked out for all 3 tracks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it just went boom and just peaked.
That's such a good info. You know, I've had a few guests in here and there's always a little strategic angle where I'm like, that is genius. That's a good one as well because that when like Do It, you mentioned A Craze Do It, when we had Barry here, Chapter and Verse.
Oh yeah, he's brilliant.
He's a ledge. There's always, as producers, you're always just looking out for something that's popping that you can go, actually, this is going well. Because I remember a track was coming out when he came on here and he'd been sent it and then there was like 3 producers trying to do the same like sample or something. I think everyone trying to have a race for the top of it. Yeah. Just trying to jump on a moment, I guess.
It's a trend, isn't it?
Yeah, trending.
That's just what it is.
Trending.
It's not nice, but if you don't go with the times, you're going to get lost.
100%, yeah.
And that's what, unfortunately, will kill you and also make you stronger.
Yeah, 100%.
Just is what it is. Just go with it and stop trying to force it. Like I said, I hate social media and all the stuff that you have to do, but at the end of the day, I want to stay current. So
but even though you don't like it, you seem to be pretty good at it. Like the networking and stuff, you seem to be pretty good at it from an outside looking in. But is it forced?
What do you see?
I think
what, like the social media or like the way I speak to people? Like, what do you think?
Well, speaking to you now, you're super easy to get along with.
Yeah. Do you know what? Fun fact: I'm autistic. I've got Asperger's. How'd you say it?
Asperger's?
I say Asperger's, but people say Asperger's.
Yeah.
Which is like ass and burgers. I just feel like they all say it wrong.
Yeah.
So I've got that, and obviously ADHD like the rest of the fucking world.
Yeah. Cool.
So people think people with autism, they're a little bit shy and they don't make eye contact and they don't want to be around people and stuff like that. And it's kind of true, but with my specific diagnosis, you know, it really, for me, I don't have a filter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really like outspoken and I'll say shit that people shouldn't say. And it sometimes gets me in trouble, but it sometimes pays off. But it also makes me really easy to be around. So people always feel really comfortable around me because I make you feel like my best mate because I genuinely think that people are my best friend. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing, like you can get really taken advantage of because you do think, it's like being a puppy. you think everybody's your mate. Do you know what I mean? Like after this, I'm thinking we should go for the fucking drink. Let's go. You know what I mean? But that, you know, in one word, it's great because it looks like I'm doing good maybe on socials because I'm going out speaking to everybody. But on the other hand, I can easily get taken the piss out of.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit of a catch-22.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What superpower does that give you in terms of like making music and being creative? Do you have like tunnel vision? Like
massive tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Like that's when I was learning to DJ the week before I went to Ibiza. I stood there in my room for, I think it was like 15-hour days.
Wow.
For like 5 days and zoned the fuck in and tried to learn how to beat match, and I couldn't understand it. And then just one day it absolutely clicked. Do you know what I mean? Because I thought I have to do this before I go to Ibiza, because if I do get a set, then I don't want the music to be out of time. Do you know what I mean? So I absolutely laser focused in, and that's what I did with production. You know, if it's with autism, if somebody said something, you can really go, okay, well, I'm that, or I believe that. So you really exalt yourself in whatever it is that people are saying you are, which is, it can be scary. So you need to surround yourself with the best kind of people. And fortunately, I did along the way. So after the DJing, and then Shiba-san said, you need to do this to do that. So I went, okay, I need to actually black and white, do that to do that. So then I went home and I just, no one taught me. I didn't even watch any YouTube tutorials. I just opened Ableton and was like, okay, do it. And it just went from there, do you know what I mean? And yeah, it's the same with like, I did the social media. They said you need to have a foot in social media in order to get somewhere. So I made the TikTok page and it went fucking massive overnight. I got like 40k followers overnight. And I was like, okay, it does what it says on the tin, you know what I mean? Like I do what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Amazing. Well, thanks for sharing that. That's amazing.
All good.
You mentioned you don't like networking, but do you like the collaborative process of making music? Do you like working with other producers and singers, or do you prefer to? It's a bit of both.
Don't like working with other people, but I get it if I'm forced into a situation that I don't know, I go into collab with people that I don't know. Things can get a bit out of hand with other producers or other artists, and it can become quite busy, and that really stresses me out.
Fair.
So I like being a proper producer and shutting the curtains and shutting the door. You know what I mean?
Sweatbox.
Exactly. Loads of Red Bulls on the side, like vapes on the left side. Do you know what I mean? Like absolute sweatbox. So yeah, I don't. But there are some people that I work with relentlessly. Navos is one of my best friends. I work with him constantly. Me and James work great together.
Good.
One of my friends, Lewis John, and Danny CW, who's one of my best friends as well. We've worked together for the last 8 years. So nice. There's a few select people that I will work with.
Yeah,
you know.
100%. I want to talk about your DJ sets, because you mentioned you've got a good background in DJing first before producing. When you go into different, so you're playing in Ibiza, you're playing in the UK, you're playing in a different country, do you adapt your DJ set based on where you're going? Do you do like research? Like how do you build your DJ sets for the different events you're doing? Are you mainly playing your music, or is it a bit of everything?
I don't think any of the above. Like I got asked that recently. Like when somebody says to me, I'm really excited to hear your set, my response is me too. Because I have no fucking clue. I'm a Scooby what I'm going to be playing.
That's amazing.
I'll play what I like to play as long as they like it. And it's very rarely current. And people always say that you have to be current with the music, but I just don't think you do. I think it's all about the build and the drop and what you're doing. Like, it can be a really shit song, and if you've got the RMX out and you're making it build really big, it can be a really shit, disappointing drop, and people will still lose their head over it. Do you know what I mean? You're going to smack your nan over the face with a bat.
Yeah.
If it's a shit drop, but you've made a big build, you're winning in life. So I don't think you need to be current. I don't really look at what other people are doing. I just play what I want and what I think works, and it always works.
So as you're just going around like your daily life, you're just listening to music constantly, saving them and thinking, I'll play that today.
Yeah. If I hear something, I'll Shazam it. If I'm at somebody's set, which is rare, I'll Shazam it if I like it.
Yeah.
I don't tend to play my own music a lot, but there's usually people in the audience with it on the phone like this, and I'm like, I don't even have that track on my USB.
We get that. What are some of the you just said you had a really busy summer before we started this. What have been some like standout moments this summer? Any sets?
God, it has been busy.
Yeah.
You know what? A standout moment has to be Miami. That was the very start of the summer. That was for Miami Music Week.
What was it? Never been there. It looks amazing.
It's
it
definitely flashy and
Yeah.
wild, yeah. It's like Ibiza on steroids, really. And it's very expensive, but there's a lot of good music events happening. This was a standout moment because they absolutely fucking pissed down.
Oh, yes.
It absolutely pissed down.
Yes.
It was like, there was people going down the street and floaties.
Oh my God.
Like literally on a big rubber dinghy. There was this one girl, she must have come out the pub pissed and not knowing what was going on. And you seen her walking and she just face plant the fucking water. And then her mate was grabbing it. There was a bit of a current, so her mate kept on trying to pick it up to stop her from going down the current. And then her mate would fall with her, and we would all just like this outside the Toolroom event waiting for the rain to go off. And I'm just like, wow, this is fucking crazy, this. And then without like, it was all flooded by the green room area. So I'm trying to get warm with all my friends. So we go out to the front and everyone's going, Essel, when are you playing? And I'm like, mate, when is anyone playing? Do you know what I mean? Like it was off for absolute hours. But when it started, it was great because I missed my set time. And then Mark was like, safe, come back to back with me and James, and it was peak time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I got to play an unreleased one.
Oh, nice.
And one that had just been released, so it was fucking incredible.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, I remember seeing all the videos of that. I was like, oh my God, that looks...
It was crazy. Absolutely crazy, yeah. Do you know what? I just did a gig in... where was it? I did the gig the other week anyway, and it was on an old airbase.
Right.
And inside they'd made it into like this prop like for movies, into this prop set.
Ooh.
And they had it was all dark, and then they had the DJ at the back, and it was like an airstrip, and you had some tanks on there, some actual real life tanks, you know what I mean? And then like you'd had this really old, like through this little door you'd had this really old fashioned movie theatre with the old fashioned like popcorn machine and movie ticket things. It was fucking absolutely incredible. I literally touched down off Spain, went there, and I was like, this is fucking sick. It was great.
It's amazing what music can do for you.
It is. It's nice to see. Like,
is this set online? I need to see this. I need to see this set. That's amazing. Oh my God, that sounds unbelievable. I guess then, what is like work-life balance? Is there such a thing? Like, how are you traveling, touring, trying to make tracks that go number one on Beatport, and then trying to chill as well? Are you balancing that, or is it just one day at a time?
Yeah, so I would love to take it one day at a time. That would mean that I don't overthink, but there's no such thing. So what I do when I'm touring, I've got what they call a co-producer, my friend Lewis.
Oh, good.
Co-producing tracks for me so that I can relax while I'm touring and concentrate on the social media. So I'll send him the ideas, or he might start from fresh and then send me the ideas and whatever. It just takes so much of the fucking burden off me. And then when I'm not touring, it's really, really nice because then, I mean, by January this year, I had, what was it, like 17 tracks, like just that I'd made in the winter, do you know what I mean? So I can make a lot of them, but then when it comes to this touring, it's really difficult.
Sure.
I think since I've passed that off to somebody, when I'm not doing the touring aspect of it and I've got a few days off, I like to just go on walks with my dog and play Call of Duty. And then I also just keep my phone on Do Not Disturb every single day. It's on mute. And Monday, I will not answer that fucking phone. I will put it under the pillow and just sit there. And then Tuesday's COD day, so I got 2 days off already.
Love that.
And Wednesday, I'm at Crossfader.
We're here.
Yeah.
It's cool because when you mentioned like having a co-producer, I think it's more and more realizing that it takes an army, doesn't it, to get somewhere.
Yes.
You need help from people, and you mentioned there about you not really like networking. It's quite difficult, and it's such a big thing for people coming into the industry, you know, it can be very solo when you're in that studio for 12 hours a day, 15 hours a day, trying to make a track, trying to get anyone to listen to it anywhere. If you can build a network, and that's why the initiative you came through there might be something that can help people, like, you know, get a bit of a network, or just connect with a community that's into the same music as you, that likes the same thing. You can just bounce ideas off, and anytime you're in a bit of a down place or a dark place, just like to have somebody there to, like, you got my back for today, that would be really good.
You need that. You do need help. Like, it's good to make friends in the music industry, like, and I mean proper friends, not ones that are gonna stab you in the back. Do you know what I mean? So they can do what you said, like have you back when you're just feeling down, because you will have down days, and they might last for more than a day. They might last for months. We all go through it. You just got to have the right network behind you, and you know, it's like having a shop. You don't want it to fall just because you didn't come in that day. You need people to run it with you. There's no shame in saying that you have to have a co-producer or a ghost producer or a social media manager or whatever. You can't be everywhere at once. I just don't understand if you can.
Sure. You build as you build, right? You take on more and you get more gigs, and so you can put some money back into it.
It's not that I can't produce, it's just that I can't take the shit that everybody gives me.
100%. Bring us up to date right now then. What is going on? What tracks are coming out? What does the rest of this year look like for you? Do you know? Like, what are the goals, I guess?
Yeah, so I've got a track coming out with Universal again. I'm just about to sign into it. I think it's a 3-track deal with them.
Right.
I've got a couple more to deliver on Toolroom, and then I think I'm going to jump into a deal with them again. It's seen as they manage me, and I'm really comfortable from where I came from with them and where I'm at now. Like, I don't see the point in ever leaving that. Like, it's hard, it's rare to find people that look after you like that. And like I said, in the industry, you really do need to get some people that you can trust around you. And I don't see why you would try and fix something that isn't broke. So I've got to, you know, stick with Toolroom and Universal, but also Chris Lake and Fisher. So what is it, Black Book and Catch and Release. And Insomniac, they've all been on me for the past year and a half to try and get the right track. Now, I think I'm the closest with Black Book. And then Patrick Toppin reached out to my manager most recently as well to get one. So I think we're going to circulate those. I've just made like 5 tracks last week. And we just sent a few of them out yesterday. But it's just when we get a bite, do you know what I mean? Like, they don't even know what they want. So it's just making an array of different tracks. So hopefully you'll see a release on Insomniac, Black Book, and or Catch and Release by this year or early next year, and definitely Toolroom.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Amazing. What can you give us an insight into, again, like up and coming producers, like the sort of numbers game that it takes to get track signed and the sort of rejection level? Like, I think we was at Toolroom Academy of Fabric, which I talked to you about earlier, and there's a few questions flying around, and people were like, you know, I put out like 5 tracks and nobody's listening, and then people are like, you know, do like 500. So you get a reply. Is it just like a complete numbers game, and how do you deal with the no's? Do you just move on to the next person and try and get that signed? How do you like manage it?
I mean, I have a team behind me that help me manage it, and I'm not really bothered about the no's. Like, I can take rejection. What I find difficult is seeing your streams not doing as well, or your followers going down. Like, I had 2 million monthly listeners, and it rapidly dropped to like 700 something, and then it went back up to 1 million a few months ago, and now it's back down to like 870 or 860, and I just can't make sense of it. So what I'm concentrating on now is peace of mind.
Yeah.
And trying not to be bothered about the no's, the rejection, or anything like that. And I'm going to make music regardless of whether it gets somewhere or not, because I didn't make it just to be on top. I made it because, you know, when I started getting into this, I found that feeling of what it does to people, and I want to be the person that does that. And it gets a lot of emotion out for me. So I'll always make music regardless of who's there. So at the end of the day, I may as well just ship it out. And if somebody says no, it doesn't mean that it's a shit track.
Oh.
They might be having a bad day, or their opinion does not mean that it's shit. It's not the truth. It's not gospel. Do you know what I mean? So just, it is what it is. If somebody says no, you're like, Sam, well, I like it, I'm keeping it how it is. Or, okay, I can hear what you're saying, I'll change it. Don't get an ego about it, just crack on.
Yeah, it's the game, isn't it? It sounds like you're operating from like different like metrics now, as opposed to like, you know, the followers and the streams or whatever. But it's like, okay, how many tracks have I sent out? How many people have engaged with me? You know, how many labels have I sent that to? And then, I mean, ultimately, what people like, and you mentioned there, when you message somebody, you never know what they're up to at that time, and people hate rejection or even silence, don't they? But I would say that if you follow up, it then shows a bit of like tenacity, doesn't it? It's like, I can see you actually want this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
like I've been back and forth with those 3 labels, Fishes and Lakes and Insomniac, for the best part of a year, maybe more. And that's what I did with Toolroom. I think it was 2.5 years or something like that. Yeah, before I even got a signing on there. So it is just consistency, and you really do have to put your ego aside, because you are going to get burned constantly over and over again. It doesn't mean that you work shit.
No.
You just got to stay on the horse and carry on riding it, you know?
100%. Essel, that's a great message to, I think, maybe end on, but I really appreciate you coming down and starting this out, you know, great chat. And yeah, congratulations on all success, and look forward to these.
Thanks, Liz. I appreciate that. Thank you. Can I take some decks home?
Do you want them all?
No, that's too much. You keep one.